shouldn't neglect the basics of wealth management and wealth growth. There's so many tactics on how to get rich. You know, some people say it's the saving money and living frugally, and then some people say it's the business idea gets you rich. And this got me thinking, because I read this book called The Millionaire Fast Lane. So the fast lane is basically when you have a business strategy that is scalable, no cap to it, unlimited potential for profits. And then you have the slow lane, which is, you know, getting a basic job, saving all your money, you know, putting your money in S&P 500, penny pinching, credit card points, you know, stuff like that. And then you also have the sidewalk. And the sidewalk is basically being in the rat race, not growing, being in debt. So you got three main lanes basically. And it was really fascinating to me, this book, because over the years I've always been a little bit like, oh, forget about the slow lane. No, I don't want to live the slow lane life. You know, it's all about the entrepreneurial way. I'm not going to get rich through having a basic job. Oh, forget all of that. You know, I'm going to have a big business idea and become rich. It's that sort of mentality. But I realized that this was wrong. I was always slagging off the slow lane, but what's the point of being in the sidewalk? You're better off being in the slow lane compared to the sidewalk. And this is what got me thinking about wealth being a process, because it is a process. I was thinking that I was going to be in debt, you know, gambling on business ideas on the hope that, oh, one day I'm going to get rich from it. Well, that's basically gambling. I've been in the slow lane. I've got a basic job. I've saved all my money, and then I bought a flat through that money, and you know, I've employed those tactics, but it's like I almost threw that aside in the hope of getting rich through a fast lane strategy. But then it's like I could have just stayed in the slow lane and trusted the process and had money behind me to, you know, make a successful business idea. But instead I threw it all away in the hope of getting rich quick. So this book spoke to me a lot. It gave me a lot of lessons. I was so quick to criticize the slow lane tactics, you know, the saving money, the penny pinching, and the slow growth, you know, the basic job. I was so quick to just throw that aside when it had actually served me well. But really, it just pushed me into the sidewalk. It just pushed me into the rat race, the debt, the wishing on a star, you know, almost gambling, because I needed to wish on that star to get me out of this bad financial situation. I wanted to almost scoff at the slow lane and be like, oh, I'm better than that. But I wasn't even in that category anymore. I was below that category. I'd gone into the sidewalk. So for me, it basically taught me lessons of, instead of rejecting slow lane tactics, things like saving money and basic jobs, much better to get yourself back into that lane before you go for the fast lane again. Because if you're in the sidewalk, if you're in constant debt, how are you going to grow in life? You can't. There's no growth. First, wean yourself onto the slow lane, the slow growth, and then you can look for the fast growth. But how are you going to get fast growth when you're literally in debt? Being in this sort of debt, you know, enjoying the fruits of life with no responsibilities, and then thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get rich. You know, I'm better than everyone else. I've got the mindset, I'm going to get rich. And then following every sort of get rich quick scheme that comes along the way, and then inevitably getting scammed along the way too. Because when you follow get rich quick schemes and you need to make money quickly, it's inevitable you're going to get scammed, because you're not thinking strategically. Anything out there that promises quick money, and this is the way that people make quick money, you're going to follow that idea. 9 out of 10 times you're going to get scammed. So don't shun the tactics of saving money, penny pinching, getting a normal job. You know, they're not going to get you rich, granted, but don't neglect them. I was so focused on thinking, what's the right thing to do? What's the wrong thing to do? What's right and what's wrong? But there is no real right and wrong.